Okay, hi. This is DJ Sign Symbol. I just got back from the gym and I wanted to hop on here real quick. I'm drinking some guava juice, I think, but it's out of a pineapple thing, and I've just realized that I like not pineapple, watermelon a lot. I also do like pineapple too as well. Um, I have been like writing a lot lately and not feeling bad about it. I've been like writing music as well, but like mostly like actually like writing poems and literature and whatnot. I've been doing it with ChatGPT, which I feel like a lot of people would want to make me feel bad about, but I don't feel bad about it, especially because I'm not posting it on the internet right now. And I think the way I'm going to go about doing it, it's not going to be slop. I think I just have high taste, so I wouldn't put together slop anyway. And I think that the medium of writing of like anything text based is gonna really change. Also, anything with like audio, like not necessarily audio, but I do think like with all I think it's called Suno, the AI generated music thing, that's gonna change things as well. I don't necessarily want to do that. That's not for me. I think music is like my jewel, so I wouldn't want to like fuck that up at all. I have used some AI with music before, but I did it in a much different way. um, I definitely think that that's interesting, all the prompting and stuff going on. But I think with specifically with like writing, I think it's good to have like a good first draft and then edit from there. That's a lot easier to do with like text than it is with like you know music. It's a lot harder to do. I mean, you can still do stem splitters and like break apart the thing into parts and whatnot. That's still possible, but I don't really think that you can necessarily do it the same way with text. It's just like it's a lot easier to like file off the serial numbers through text. Um, I also got, I guess I want to reflect back on this project as well. I don't know if this will be the last one of the year, but obviously I fell off with this. I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about it. I think that I was just posting stuff on the internet to post, and I never want to do that. I never want to just create slop. I never want to be a part of that whole thing. And I do like vlogging, but I want things to be more constructed. I do feel like this is like a little bit of a diary, which is cool. Um, Especially because I think I'm pretty committed to doing these in like photo booth on Mac. I've been reading a lot lately. I've been thinking a lot. This is also, I guess, one of the reasons that even like stirred me to talk about this is like such a weird time of year for me. Right now, it's November 24th. Um, and Thanksgiving is this Thursday and it's a Monday, so like a couple days away. It's such a weird time for me because I don't really have a lot of friends. The friends I have, I'm pretty like they're pretty dear to me, but lately I think one of them I don't feel as dear towards. But I mean I think that's just friendships. You have like ups and downs. Um, but for the people that are more like cursory in my life, it's so hard to like get in contact with them. Not that I was really in contact with a lot of different people anyway. It was definitely like enjoying my own company. Something Shy Girl once said, which her dad once said to her, was like, if you can't enjoy your own company, how can you expect other people to enjoy your company? So I've been really like focusing on that a lot this year and just like trying to really enjoy my time and just have fun. Stress less was one of my things. I paid off my student loans this year. I don't even know if I talked about that on this channel, but I paid off my student loans. So I've just been trying to have fun and not like be so freaked out about everything. Um, and I realized that I feel like I've been doing that like definitely ever since I stopped posting. Like I really feel like I've just been trying to have fun and embrace things. It's a little harder to do that nowadays because I have seasonal depression disorder, and I don't even need to be diagnosed. I know I just get sadder in the winter, and it's been like that for a long time at this point. And I've been taking St. John's Wort to kind of ward that off, and that's been helping a lot actually. A lot. Also, just like my mental state in general, it's just like, well, it is what it is. I don't know. I think another thing that's coming to my mind is I think that sometimes it's exhausting, like always being the one to reach out to other people and making plans and all that other stuff. I actually feel like I've talked about that before in here. It's exhausting. Um, it's fun in some ways because it feels like, oh, I made a difference in other people's life and I have that autonomy. But also, like, someone was saying, like, one of the things people don't like about breaking up with people is it's the, oh, I'm that thing you saw in me that was so special. It's not there anymore because you're breaking up with me. Like, oh, like I'm not this special person to you anymore, or I'm not as special as I was. And I feel like I don't get that side of it at all because people never reach out to me. I feel like it's a weird sense of like it is loneliness in a way because like, but it's like a loneliness that I've like kind of come to accept. It's not like painful or like discomforting. Well, I guess it is discomforting, but it's not like I don't feel like personally jaded by it because so many people are like that. In fact, I think most people are receivers instead of like givers. So I think it's hard to be a giver in a society where we're taught to consume instead of giving and generosity and things like that. Which I guess they're allowing me to practice my generosity, but I think sometimes it can be kind of draining. So I've also learned to like really respect my energy and my boundaries. And when I'm like out of energy, just like say it and I'll be like, no, I'm not going to do that. Although I really do feel like a lot of people in my personal life have been, like kind of milking it, honestly, kind of milking like my kindness to too much of an extent. And I think I think I'm really gonna just like cut people off and be like, it's not happening. Like you're gonna have to figure out your own problems because I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like doing it, and I don't have to. That's enough. That's enough. Period. That's enough. What else is on my mind? Oh, I don't even know if I talked about this. I got a synthesizer. I got a Dirty Wave M8. I'm pretty happy about it, and that kind of makes me think about like just my feelings on music. I just feel like sad about it because it's really cool. I love music. And I can make music for myself, but it feels like apart from there just being so much noise on the internet, it's hard to find a signal. I mean, wow, there's a lot of thoughts coming to my head, but one of the things coming to my head right now is like, I took a break from, I'm not on Spotify anymore. I've talked about that before. And that I'm now noticing like there was a lot of noise. There was some signal. There was definitely some, but a lot of it was noise. And then I also thought about, have a Google Chrome extension called Unhooked, so you don't see recommended on YouTube or anything like that. You also don't see related videos. It's kind of glitched right now because YouTube like updated and it broke part of it. But even then, I don't see like 95% of the recommended stuff, the algorithmic stuff. I don't see most of that, and that's been so. I didn't even realize how much of it was just like noise. Even the like 3% that gets through, like it's still like whoa. I was really just sitting on here clicking button all day, click button. And I recently, like, it's cold outside and I wish it was like, I lived in a part of the world where like the equator or something like that, Ecuador, where the sun was still out. Cause it sets at 4 right now in Tennessee. And I can't go hiking after work. So I have to go to the gym if I want to work out. And I also realized that I really do appreciate a workout routine like that. I noticeably feel better after. I don't even care about being hot or anything like that. I mean, that's just like, to me, like I was working out at one point to like be hot, and I am that mind virus is kind of creeping back into my head. But right now I'm mostly doing it just so I get better sleep, and like especially now I'm noticing a lot more. I'm feeling a lot better. Also, I've been pretty consistent. It's hard to do it in the winter because I hate being cold, especially when you're sweaty and then you have to go back outside in the cold. It's awful. Right now it's 60, so it's better. But once it starts getting like 20, 30 degrees outside, I'm going to be fucked. So I've been really trying to go every weekend, and I have been going every weekend to like go hiking. I think this weekend it's gonna be like pretty shit. Um, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not gonna look it up. I was talking about music and just noise. Yeah, it's just a lot of clutter, a lot of bullshit. Oh yeah. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about like genuineness and authenticity as well. I recently told this guy that I liked him, and I wrote a short story about this actually, about how he didn't like. I gave him my number. He didn't text me. There could be lots of reasons why he didn't text me, but the narrative I'm going with right now is that he just doesn't like me, which I think I'm mature enough to be like, most people aren't gonna like you. That makes sense. Most people aren't gonna want to fuck with you. Um, or maybe I don't know. Either way, this guy doesn't like me. And like I wonder the reasons why, or maybe, and even then it's like, is it because like, dude, does he think I'm just trying to get in his pants, or is he straight, or is he like homophobic? Is he closeted? Um, am I what like? Is he able to tell that I'm authentically trying to like get to know him as a person, or like how do you know these things? And it also kind of reminded me. I have a song about this as well. It's on, what is it on? The Leaks. It's on my mixtape, The Leaks, where I was talking about how you can just be so authentic and all this stuff. And you can say, hi, how are you? And somebody can twist it and make it something evil. And you can legitimately be like, hey, I want to get to know you. Oh, you're just trying to get in my pants. Like, no, I actually thought you were cool. But like, that trying to convince somebody about that can also make it the situation like worse, because it almost seems like, oh, and I don't like the idea. I feel like nowadays you have to like trick people into like even being friends. Like, it's kind of tragic, right? You kind of have to like trick people like, oh, why are you trying to get my Insta? You trying to see how many followers I am? Are you trying to stalk me? It's like everybody in a society where everyone's defensive, like how do you like get past people's like barriers to like see the real them? And I think the main thing you got to do is just lead with authenticity. But I've been getting like kind of scuffed a lot lately. People have been doing a lot of like shitty things to me lately, and not even like major shitty things. It's like little tiny like rolling eyes and like, why you, like I asked my coworker how he was. Actually, he's been doing this a lot lately. I think this is just him. So I've been, again, not trying to take it personally, but it does suck. Like, asking, you greet people. I'm American. How are you? He doesn't even ask me how I am back. He just says good. Like, bro, who raised you? Like, who raised you? It's just really, I've been a lot of stuff like that. What else has happened that has like kind of like gotten to me? Of course, the crush thing. What is it? Oh, I was talking to my other friend about something. He like belittled my issue. Like, why are you doing that? Like, aren't you supposed to not be doing stuff like that? It's just like, and I know I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but I just feel like I've been getting more of it lately. So I've been trying to just be like, practice my spirituality and be like a filter for that stuff. So, it stops. Because I think what goes around comes around. So if I can absorb some of it, I can kind of remove it. I hope so, at least. That's a thought. Let me take a little water break. I'm looking at these cards over here, and I think I'm gonna answer one of them. Maybe I'll do that for every video. I don't know if I'll do this again. I think this was a fun experiment to see if I could post a video. I definitely like looking back on them. Post a video every week, but I don't think I'll do it again. Also, I'm going to Berlin. Does it? Let me not say when I'm going, but I'm going to Berlin. I don't want people to like come into my house and do naughty things. Well, you're not gonna be able to read that, but it says, when do you feel the most yourself? I feel the most myself when I am. There's a lot of things that come to mind when I'm listening to music. And I thought about Spotify, and I was like diving through rabbit holes on Spotify, but I can't do that anymore. So I think I'm the most myself when I'm like curating something. When I'm like, I'm a designer by trade, so like anything where I'm like putting together parts and like putting together a puzzle and like really seeing that come together. I love making albums. I love crafting a story. I love crafting a world, a narrative, a viewpoint. And I look back on my albums and my mixtapes, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. And I had a clear viewpoint at the end of the day. You know, people may not like it, but I see what I was talking about. And I did a lot. I did what the budget I had. With the budget I had, I did what I did. So, yeah. And I'll do one more because I didn't really like that one. Ooh, okay. I feel like this is a chunky one. What parts of yourself do you have the most trouble loving or accepting? I think the parts of myself that I have the most trouble loving or accepting is going to be, I think sometimes my sexual tendencies. I think I have a lot of internalized homophobia. I have a lot of shame that I'm still working through, and it's definitely making an improvement. Actually, I think that's kind of the most difficult thing, and also just like my mind. Like I have to realize that the mind will just like the brain will just make thoughts, and it's just that's what the organ is supposed to do. It's supposed to spit out thoughts, and then the mind is supposed to select those thoughts and decides what's useful and what's not useful. And if you're mindless, you're just listening to everything that your brain generates. So I think understanding the difference between those two things it's an ongoing practice. And I woke up to like having an actual mind, like maybe around 25, 24, something like that. So I've only been doing that about 6 years. You know, I'm 30. So that's another thing. I'm 30. Yay! There's so many understanding those differences and understanding that just to let myself be myself and all things will pass. Things will pass and it's not just gonna be the same. So that's one thing. And then there's more to this as well. What parts of others do you have the most trouble loving or accepting? I think about a lot of things. I think about one of my friends I think they have trouble. I struggle to love when they don't get me. Does that make sense? That sounds like narcissistic. Actually, I've been trying to lean into narcissism lately, but like when people are not necessarily as intelligent as me, that also sounds hella narcissistic, but like when people don't get me automatically, or when people are not living up to their potential, I think that frustrates me. What else? I think that yeah, when people don't let themselves go and do what am I trying to say? Accepting that some people want to be miserable. I think I think that applies to a lot of different people in my life. When some people just like being miserable because that's what they're used to, and I think that's so hard for me because I don't in my path I don't think that's right for me, but that's right for some people, and that's really hard. That's hard. That's very difficult. And then I do want to touch on the other friend. I think that I guess just this isn't really right. I'm gonna just speak. Other people's point of view is kind of the thing, but like them not understanding my point of view. And I guess like being stuck in their ways in some ways. Just like misunderstanding me like that. It's a nuanced thing. And I don't want to really spit too much information about this person on the internet, but it's something along those lines. And the last part of this question is there any overlap? I think, yeah. I mean, you guys tell me. No, I think there's some overlap. I think there's what parts are just accepting my mind and then their mind. You know, being mindless. I understand. To me, like loving being miserable is mindless, but you know, hey, maybe that's mindful to them. Maybe that the comfort of like the familiar is enjoyable to them, and I can't hate that. You know, I think it's not for me, but I enjoy a routine. Especially I definitely enjoy a routine. I enjoy going hiking and stuff on a regular basis. So I'll say yeah. Um, I think I'll do a couple more of these by myself off camera. But it was nice seeing you guys. I don't know when I'll be back. Check out my Bandcamp. Check out where am I posting mostly these days? Honestly, not on the internet. It feels very performative, and I've been trying not to. I've been trying to perform as a DJ, but not perform on the internet. Whoop. Yeah, I don't want to be a character. I guess I'll leave you with a book recommendation. There's a book by Ocean Vuong. So I think it's Vuong, an ocean like an ocean, and the book is called gosh, let me find it real quick. On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous. Great book, fantastic book. Bye.